Hey y'all, and welcome to We Find Joy, where we are unapologetically living a joyous life boldly. And today we are going to be talking about budget categories. Woohoo! Are you excited? I'm excited. Let's get it started. I don't even think that's the right. Anyway, y'all, I'm being silly today. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about ways that we can organize our budget using budget categories. This video is a part of a larger series called the Bold Budget series. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, you can find all the videos that have been put out so far in the playlist called the Bold Budget series. This video will be mainly working in our workbook. This is a free PDF that you can download for free. It's 40 pages that goes along and coincides with the videos in this series. So it's a workbook that we can do this thing together. We are creating a bold budget, which is a budget that you believe in, a budget that's objective, a budget that you can leverage, and a budget that you can depend on. And we've been working over the past couple of videos in this series to get us prepared and organized to get to our main goal of creating the budget. So today we are going to be discussing budget categories, but before we get started, y'all already know what it is. This video is about to be lit. This video is about to be hype. This video is about to be fire. If you want to be a part of the Joy crew, we have fun over here. Definitely make sure that you like, comment, you subscribe to the fam. We get in this thing together and finding ways to live a joyous life, not just in regards to our finances and budgeting, but things that make us happy, things that bring us joy. And so if that sounds like it's something that you want to be a part of, come hang out with your girl. We about to be making this thing happen. So today, like I said, we are going to be talking about budget categories. And in the workbook, we are going to be mainly looking at page 15 in the workbook. But before we really dive into the budget categories, it's important for me to also share that what we did in the past couple of videos is we tracked our expenses. We then went through and identified if our expenses were needs or wants. We then identified if they were variable expenses or fixed expenses, all getting us to this point of creating budget categories. And why are budget categories really important when you're thinking about creating a budget? And the main thing is to keep you organized. Your expenses will fall in one of these budget categories that we are going to be talking about today. And while I'm sharing the budget categories that I've identified for my own personal budget, looking at our expenses, you might identify that you have different types of budget categories that I don't have based on your needs. The great thing about a budget is that you work the budget based on your needs, based on your wants. And you might say that a budget category for your own personal finance is important to you. That might not be important to me, and that is okay. What I will be talking about today are the main, pretty standard budget categories that pretty much you'll find in any budget. And then if you identify other categories that work best for you, make sure that you add it in there. But today I just want to talk about the top ones that most likely you will have in your budget. That's pretty much similar to mine. I also have only given you 9 boxes in this workbook, but you might have more than 9 categories. You might have 10 categories. You might have 11 categories. What I will say is don't have 20 categories, y'all. Sometimes less is more. And so what I've had to do is also pare down my budget categories to really help me focus on what is essential to my budget. What are the expenses that most likely they're going to be happening on a monthly basis. And I pretty much went through my expense tracker for April. I know typically what we spend money on a monthly basis, and the budget categories that I'm going to be discussing today will fall into one of the expenses will fall into one of these budget categories. So let's get started. And what I'm going to be doing is pretty much share with you each of my budget categories and what are the expenses that fall under those categories? What makes sense to fall under that specific budget category that relates to the expenses that I have on a monthly basis? To learn more about budget categories after this video, y'all watch the full video, but if you want to learn more about budget categories, I really got a lot of advice and guidance through The Budget Mom and The Organized Money. Those YouTube accounts have videos all around budget categories. So after this video, if you want just more examples and more ways to see how your budget categories and what falls under budget categories, check out their videos. Y'all, we help each other out over here, right? So the first budget category that I want to talk about, and I probably should do it in like alphabetical order, but the way I wrote it out in my notes on my phone, it's not in alphabetical order, so you're just gonna have to deal with it, and it is what it is. And the first thing that came to mind, which I don't want this to be the first thing on my list, but it's going to be, because right now this is the main goal of why I am budgeting, is to pay off debt. Debt is a huge part of my budget at this point, and am I happy about it? No. I'm going to say it again. Am I happy about it? No. But I think also having it at the forefront of, my mind at all times really helps me to make the moves necessary to allow my budget to work for me so I can leverage my goal of paying off debt, right? So while I don't want this to be like a part of my budget categories forever, right now this is a huge part of it, because this is the focus of why I am budgeting. And I also want to just say that your budget categories can change over time, right? So when I'm debt free, I ain't gonna have this debt category, and that's all right, and that's what I want. Over time, I might want to add in different categories that relate to where I am in my life at this point. At this point in my life, in this stage of my life, that is a part of my budget organization. And so here we go. So what falls under debt for this category? So for me, it's my student loan. It's our credit cards. It is any other debt that I have. I think those are pretty much it. My student loan, credit cards. I don't think we have any other debt. We have, I guess I could put this under there, like for our Peloton, we are like paying on a monthly basis. So I guess that kind of is a debt. So I'm just going to put Peloton. We're almost done paying it off, which is really exciting. So like I'll be able to check that off the list. But y'all, if you want to hear where we are with our debt, stay around, stay tuned. That should be coming. That should be one of the next videos in this series, where we talk about sitting down, calculating out your debt, and then making a plan of how you want to pay your debt off. And so y'all know that, or maybe you don't know if this is the first time watching one of my videos or you're newer to the channel, but I started on YouTube because I wanted to pay off our debt. We started with $175,000 worth of debt with credit cards. Most of it was student loans for my husband and I. We've been paying it off, but we've accrued debt over time, and so I'm going to be giving you my updated number, and y'all don't want to miss that. Those videos, while it gives me angst to talk about it, I do like doing them because it puts it in perspective of where we are, but also helps me to see like what I'm working towards. So that is a big one. Another category is savings. So, it's important that even though you have debt and even though, you're working to pay that off, it's important to also save. And so for me, something that's really important is to have an emergency fund. And over the past, I would say, year and a half, our emergency fund has just gone by the wayside. And so really trying to get that back up and running. Another thing is our sinking funds. I'm going to be doing a whole video on sinking funds and the importance of those and how it can help you to with your short and long term goals. So like one of our savings sinking funds is vacation. We love to travel. We love to have time away, you know, taking advantage of different adventures and experiences. And so like a sinking fund in our savings category would be vacation. So those are the two biggest things right now for savings that I want to be working on, is growing our emergency fund, sinking funds. And another thing, I'm not there yet, but I would love to have like a 1 month ahead fund where I have all of my fixed expenses. I'm a month ahead. So no matter what, if something happens, like I have money in a specific fund that I can pull from called the 1 month ahead fund. And if you want me to do a video on that, let me know. So 1 month ahead. And I think the last thing on this one is just like savings challenges. I'm going to be doing a whole video on just simple savings challenges that will then, well, I don't think it actually needs to be one because the savings challenges will go towards savings and debt. So it doesn't need a specific like category, but just know that it'll fall under these two for those saving challenges. All right, so debt and savings. Debt wasn't the best to talk about. Savings is exciting to talk about. The next thing on my list is home. So I'm doing my expense tracking, looking to see on a monthly basis what we are spending money on. Home is a big category, and so what falls under home? So for me, it would be my mortgage. For you, you might have a mortgage, you might have rent. It would be any like home repairs. Y'all, when I tell you, buy a house, they said, it'll be fun, they said. Yeah, right. It is. I'm really grateful. I'm really blessed to have a home that we can afford and pay for. But when I tell you, like, left and right, there's always a repair. So we've had to get over 6 trees taken down. We've had to get a new roof on our house. We've had to get our driveway refinished because it was just like cracking and not safe for, you know, cars to go back and forth on in the driveway. We've had to get our heating system replaced. Right now, something's going on with our washer where it's like leaking water and I have to like it's just, the home repairs is no joke. And so that is a category that it doesn't happen all the time, and hopefully it spreads itself out. But under home repairs and maintenance is another thing that would fall under this category. For example, did I spell maintenance right? I think so. Every year we get our heating system maintenance, and that's like an additional fee. So I know that it's going to come out on a yearly basis. So under home, I will have, that would fall under that home category. And, well, I'll talk about that in a second, but let me keep going. Another thing that falls under like our home is our security system. I'm trying to think what else. I think those are the main things that for me right now that would fall under home and household. Yeah. All right. So the next thing that for me, another category would be transportation. So this has to do with our cars. So this is our car payment. This is our car insurance. This is our car maintenance. Maintenance. I think I spelled that wrong. Let me see, how do I spell it? Yep, I did spell this wrong. I messed it up. See, I caught myself, thankfully. maintenance. Hopefully I got that right. All right. This is like car registration. Doesn't happen all like as frequently, but every year or 2 years, I know I'm gonna have to do that. What is that? Every month, every year? Oh, that's registration. No, that's not car insurance registration. What is it where you like inspection? Car inspection. I guess I didn't need to put car in front of everyone. Anything else? This would be like our toll Easy Pass. That would fall under this. I think I got everything. So anything related to our car would come under transportation. All right, the next category for me is utilities. So this is our heat, electric, our water, our trash, our sewer. Some of these are like on a quarterly basis. Our phone. Anything else? I think those are the main ones. You might have some additional ones based on your own situation, but that's our utilities. Our next one is food. And prior to this year, I separated out food into like groceries, eating out. So like they would be their own categories. But I'm wondering if I'm going to try this year, and both the Budget Mom and Elena from The Organized Money, they put everything related to like groceries and all eating out all under food, and I'm wondering if it might be better for me to do that instead of trying to like break it out. So we're gonna do groceries, eating out, like restaurants. I guess that can be eating out for me. Well, restaurants for me is like I go in and sit down. Eating out is like, well, I guess that would be the same thing, but I'm just going to leave it. Like fast food. We do a lot of fast food. Well, okay. I'm just going to speak for myself. I do some fast food. So, yeah. All right. All those fit under the food category. The next one for me is health. And this would be, and having kids, I would just say since I've had kids, I feel like I'm always at a doctor for something, you know, teeth, physical, shots, my own stuff. My husband has stuff. Like going to the doctor is important. And so we have like our co-pays for our doctor's appointments. What else? Life insurance would go under this. Oh, and for home, this is our home insurance. Life insurance goes under here. Medicine, at least once a month I'm going in to the pharmacy and getting some medicine for something. Co-pays, life insurance, medicine. I think that's pretty much it. For health, I'm trying to think what else. I think that's it for health. The next one for me is I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, I need more. So I might have to print out another one, but I think I'll just put it on the back. Yeah, I'll just put it on the back. So health, personal, or I might just print out another one. That might be work. All right, so personal would be, this is like personal care things that like for self-care. So self-care, so hair, nails, gym, personal for, I would say clothes. That would be another one. I'm trying to think of anything else that we would for personal. I think that might be it for that one. Okay, so that's under personal. The next one would be like fun / entertainment. Will I be able to fit it? I just made it. It's not going to make me happy. All right, hold on. I got to move it over a little bit. See, this is why I love having an erasable pen, because since I'm slightly a type A and I need things to look a certain way, entertainment. Okay, much better. All right, so fun and entertainment. This is like family fun events, date nights. This would be any subscriptions. So for me, I'm going to put like my book subscriptions under there, my husband's car. For him, that's his fun stuff. Like, he loves to get his car washed. This is for subscriptions. I'm also going to put like Disney Plus, my Canva. Like, for all of those are like our fun entertainment extra things that make us happy. So I'm going to put that under there for that. And then any like extracurricular activities for any of us. So it could be like sports for my son. They mainly it's like sports or music or this stuff like that. Curricular activities. Okay, so that's that. Now let me see if I can get, I'm going to print out another page because I have two more. Well, I guess it's, yes, because it's going to bother me if it doesn't look right. So hold on, I'll be right back. All right, so the next one, we just did fun and entertainment. The next one is going to be holidays. And that's going to be birthdays for everybody. The boys, husband, family, birthday parties for my kids' friends, anniversaries. This will be like purchasing cards if I need to, gifts. This all falls under this, like gifts for holidays. Any holiday that comes up on the calendar, that's what this is going to fall under. Calendar, holidays. All right. And then the last one, oh, I printed out a whole page just so I can do two more. Yes, I did. Your girl did. All right, miscellaneous. The last one is going to be anything that's unexpected. An unexpected expense, that's under here. If I hadn't accounted for it, it's going under miscellaneous. And then anything under random that comes up, going under here. All right, so let me bring you back out. And what I want to do is I actually want to color coordinate as somewhat. It don't have to be too much. The categories. And what will happen is that when you go through and track your expenses throughout the month, what you would do is look to see what color the category is, and then that's what you can highlight. I'll show you in a second what I actually mean. Okay, so I'll go get some additional highlighters, and then I will do these last three. But what I want to show you quickly before we end is how these categories actually are related to when you track your spending, and how it can help you identify the areas of your budget that you are spending like more money on, not a lot of money on, areas that you can maybe cut down on. So like, you already know for me, it's going to be food. Food's a category that I'm going to have to, in my budget, already plan that like I know I go over on the food category, I got to reel it back in. So for the notes for this section, for Wawa, that's going to be under food. And then if you want to use this, food is the blue, right? So if you want to use this template, then I would just go in and mark this blue because that falls under the blue category. Chipotle is food. Amazon. So Amazon, this one's like a mixture because I probably got stuff for the house. I probably got stuff for, for clothes, who knows? But for the budget, because it doesn't have like a necessary category, it's not necessarily unexpected. But like if I know that I just bought clothes, or that would go under the, let's see, which one would that fall under? Clothes would go under personal. But for this one, I'm just going to put like miscellaneous because there's like too many in there to figure that out. Cleaners, that actually is under personal because that's clothes. So personal. Haircuts, that's personal. Pizza Hut, this was actually for a holiday. This was for Easter, so that would go under the holidays. Can you see this? Okay, good. Wawa is food. Giant is food. Beverages, food. Amazon, again, I don't really remember, so I'm just going to put miscellaneous. Gym membership. So gym membership, that would go under, let's look. Gym is personal, because that's under our self-care. So this is personal. Macari, well, we don't need to do that one. That was a payment. Credit card payment. So another one, oh, nope, that's under debt. Now, other times I have just like categorized that as like a bill. But I think it's important that we like break it down to see where it actually falls. Oop, this goes here. Gas is under transportation. BJ's, that's under food. Food. Don't need anything for that. Don't need anything for that. The credit card, this is a subscription. So that would be under fun entertainment. Interest. Adobe, Apple, this is a... So it's a bill, but it would be under... Again, it's, well, depending on which one it was for. This one I think is for Canva. So that would be under fun. Venmo, no. Apple, again, fun, entertain. Like, it has to do with our phones. So electronics, like that kind of goes on there. CVS membership. This is a... I keep forgetting. This is fun, entertainment. So if we go through, we go like this. And the reason why I kind of like to do the color coordinating with it is because it gives another visual representation to see throughout the month, throughout the week, how often that you track your expenses, what are you spending your money on? And it gives you an opportunity to then identify, am I spending my money on areas or categories that make sense, that work for the budget? Or can I change my spending habits to then work towards reaching the goals that we had set for ourselves, right? Miscellaneous, we'll have to get back to that one. Holidays, we have to get back to that one. Debt is, I believe it's this color. Yes, debt is this. Transportation is this one. All right, and then the rest are ones that we still have to get back to because we don't have the color. So far you'll see that there's a good amount of food, but there's also a good amount of the fun entertainment. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me do these because these won't have anything in them, so that way we don't get confused. So y'all, that is how I go about, you know, using my expense tracker, tracking my expenses. You know, my ideal for everyone is to be able to do it on at least 3 months for you to see where you're spending your money on, and then that relates to creating a budget category organizer that works for you and fits your budget needs, and then using these categories to then make the necessary additions, changes, modifications to your budget to, again, ultimately help you to get towards your end goal. For me, it is paying off debt and putting money towards the emergency fund. So if that means that we got to cut back on these subscriptions or date nights, or if that means, which we already know, that I got to cut back on this food category because we're spending way too much money on it, then that's what we have to do. So this hopefully will help you as you work through your own budget categories. And we're going to be putting all of this information together to then get us towards creating the budget, which I'm really excited. But before we can do that, we next are about to be talking about debt. Because we got to know what we're working with our debt. If you have debt. Most people have debt. If you don't have debt, 2 snaps to you. And this is consumer debt. Not talking about our mortgage. This is student loans, credit cards, any other debt other than your like home. That's what we're going to be talking about in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure that you like and comment. I really truly hope that you're enjoying this series. If you are, give me a thumbs up. Let me know how you are doing with it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. See ya. Bye bye.